On July 7, 2002, Michael Sisko and Karen Harkness were found murdered in Karen's home in Topeka, Kansas. The case went cold for 9 years. On March 22, 2012, Michael Sisko's ex-wife Dana Chandler was convicted of the double homicide without any direct evidence linking her to the crime. Oral arguments in State of Kansas versus Dana L. Chandler were held at the Kansas Supreme Court on January 27, 2016.
May I please court Jacqie Spradling on behalf of the appellee. And Justice Johnson, may I address you first and ask you if there are other instances of prosecutorial misconduct that you believe should have been or could have been cited. I'd happily address anything that you wanted to.
Well, I'll jump in with what I think is misconduct, and that's right off the bat. You were warned not to refer or to have anybody in the gallery stand up. And apparently this is something that has occurred at some other time with this particular judge and you, because there was some reference to, I know, you know what I'm talking about. And you said yes.
Yes, sir.
And then there was, I don't want you to do that in this case. I don't want references to folks here at all. And then during your closing argument, you do exactly what the trial court emphatically told you what not to do. And the only reason I mention that is because the extremes to which the trial court judge went to inform you not to do that, and you did it anyway. Why isn't that misconduct, and why isn't that something we should look at? And what is your answer to that?
I can give you the history to that if you'd like, Your Honor.
I want to hear history. You were warned not to do that, and you did it anyway.
And actually, let me disagree with you, please. In the case that Judge Parrish was talking to me about, there was a closing argument in a case, I think it was Dimmick, although I can't promise you that that's true. And at some point during my closing argument, I looked at the galley and I said something about the jury's verdict being important to everyone. And almost all of the people behind the stage stood up. That is not what happened in the Chandler case. There was no one who stood up in the Chandler case. I didn't request anyone to stand up in the Chandler case.
Any reference to, you said, I'm getting a look from what I'm talking about. And you're referring to the defendant's sister, I believe.
Yes, Shirley Riegel, that's right.
And you're referring to someone in the gallery, and the court told you not to do that.
And let me disagree with the analogy, if I could, please. I do not believe that saying that the defendant's sister who was mean-mugging the state is akin to asking half of the galley to stand up during closing argument. So I respectfully disagree that I did the same thing that the court asked me not to.